constructed by the Montreal Locomotive Works as Canadian Northern Railway number 1392. This steam engine is known as a 460 wheel arrangement with a class identification of H6G. The class number refers to the driver size, the model description, and construction run it was erected as part of. The 28% number is a little obscure. It suggests that the unit can muster up a 28,000-pound drawbar pull for starting a train. Built in 1913 as a coal burner, 1392 was at some point converted to oil. It was donated to the Edmonton Radio Railway Society in 1970 and moved to the Cromdale Transit Barns on the Old Fort Road in 1971, where it was brought back to life starting in 1972. 1392 is regularly run on long weekends throughout the summer season at the Alberta Railway Museum, and in 2017 is due for its regularly scheduled 5-year boiler inspection. This involves removal of all the appliances and jacketing so the physical shell of the boiler can be inspected both inside and out, and the condition of the metal can be assessed. This micro-documentary details that process.
Those are for the blower. This is the blower pipe. Blower off.
Working on steam engines requires large, heavy tools, often working in contorted positions in small spaces, and is usually dark, dirty work. All of the parts removed need to be labeled and cataloged. With a machine this old, it's simply not possible to get a new one if you break something. You'll have to make one, whatever it is. Appliances attached to the top of the boiler, like the generator, are too heavy to lift off using the come-along in the shop. While a 100-ton crane is overkill for the job, the old adage of run what you brung applies in this case. 9000 was used to drag 1392 outside so the crane could attend this task, and of course it was raining that day. After removing everything except the steam dome, 9000 shoved 1392 back into the shop so disassembly could continue.
This one, just the strap should come down, I guess. It won't.
Yeah, it may, yeah, maybe we can secure it, like grab onto something. But it will tend to go over me. I will try anyway. The right one where you are is long piece. Okay, so I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna push it towards you.
The boiler is covered in insulation, and sheet metal covers the insulation. Banding straps hold the sheet metal cover in place, and to get the straps off, the bolts need to be removed. Since they're just regular bolts, the fastest way to remove them is to cut them off.
Okay.
Condensation builds up on the boiler under the insulation, and gravity pulls water down, where it collects on the sheet metal and rusts. The bottom sheets are quite corroded and will need to be replaced. By mid-November, all the appliances, jacketing, and insulation have been removed and scaffolding has been erected to allow easy and safe access to the boiler. This is a view of steam engines that few people will ever see. You can clearly see the way the sections of the boiler are riveted together, allowing the non-destructive testing process to determine and record the condition of the boiler without disassembly or damage. The steam dome is yet to be removed here, and a lot of work has already gone into the project at this point. All of the parts have been removed, have been cataloged, and a few deteriorated parts slated for replacement.
Stripper club there. You're not gonna vacuum that thing, right? Is there any cardboard around?
You which?
Any cardboard? Box is closed and the chimneys was the front. Yeah, good.
It's wide open, so yeah. The bottom one is off all the way to the left.
Uh-huh.
which is what you'd asked me to do, and the other one is all the way to the right.
Okay, those are good too, all right? Hey, I'm gonna go up front.
You're going to crawl all the way to the front end?
Yeah.
So this is we're doing a UT thickness survey, so it's an ultrasonic thickness survey, and basically what we're looking at is sound waves going in at a 0-degree angle and then reflecting back, and based on how long the sound takes to travel in the steel and the reflections we're seeing there coming back and how long it takes for it to go back and forth is how we know how thick it is. So this particular part here we're looking at around about 0.5, half an inch thick.
So you know what the thickness of the steel should be.
Yep, we have the nominal thickness.
And you're measuring against what the thickness should
Exactly. So we're doing essentially doing a corrosion survey. So we're seeing and making sure that the corrosion is within tolerance as to what this particular vessel should be.
be. And then the sensor is virtually the same thing as what you have in your doctor's office for an ultrasonic.
Yep, same principles. Exactly right.
To conduct the boiler pressure test, the boiler is filled with water and pressure is increased to fixed test points. Then a visual inspection is performed to check for leaks. A repurposed automotive pressure washer is used for this task, as it's quite capable of providing the pressure levels required to verify that the boiler meets the requirements.
So right now we're about 170, 175. Checked around, make sure there's no leaking packings or valves or plugs. Now I'm going to crank it up and bring it up another 25 pounds and we'll see how it sits at 200.
reading the versions of.
No, I'm just checking all the telltale holes and and these things are in all kinds of places they can leak.
Yeah.
And lots of times it's perfectly acceptable that they leak it.
Yeah.
No, that looks good though. We should be able to. The bottom, once you get the bottom in, then the top we can fit. The top will sit without the own back. The bottom, that's no. Then we get that.
I'm Kevin Lecht. I'm the elected business manager of the Heat and Frost Insulators Local 110. So this project came up, and what we decided to do was we got 4 volunteers out of our pre-apprenticeship program. It's an 8-week program where we pretty much run first-year school to get these guys ready to go out in the field. So all these guys will probably be going out to different jobs, industrial jobs. So mostly in our pre-trades program, we focus on a lot of piping because it's pretty hard to get such a large bore pipe. So this is a really good opportunity to bring them out, teach them a little bit about industrial tanks and vessels, about bigger banding, about using rubbers and stuff like that, and using a different material that we don't really use on piping. So this came out really well. So myself, Dan and Ed, our vice president, and our trainer, and as well as Phil Poirier, our trainer, all volunteered our time to come out and do this one. So it worked out really well. Stuffed up underneath.
Oh, we can just stuff them in. Okay,
With a little bit of a
closer
space.
to the circle. Like that. Yeah. That's about as max as we can put a jump into the top pedal. You can't go any more than 18 inches. That's it. First.
Well, as of right now, we're just tightening up the half-inch banding to hold this on. So basically, leave it out just a little bit, just in case you need to hold the band in one hand. Now what you want to do, hold them like that.
Okay.
That's your dog. Your head goes on the band, on the tail of the band. Now you got it open like that. You should be able to just slide them on like this. Like if you look at
No,
mine,
how's it look, buddy?
like mine have been worn enough that I can just. Now I just engage my dog by doing this,
It's really hard to get down
this
there.
hand,
This is easy.
and then push forward and slide on it.
Well, you can't reach it.
Yep. Cool. Now you just tighten it up. We're using the trowels so that the clips don't dig into the insulation. And then when you get to your end of your dog, just release and slide up because you're going to probably get to them. Okay, hold on. They're just getting a little tight.
This.
Got that pressed over really good now.
Okay.
I'll let you use these unless you want to try it with the hammer.
Yeah, try with the hammer.
Try it with the hammer? Yeah, I think I'll try it with the
Just
hammer.
lift up with the pointer. When you do it, lift up with the pointer, right?
Yeah.
And it'll work, right?
Well, you got to press your bottom first because you can't cut your wing seals already. See, you want to get this pressed down in, so if you're hammering, you hammer along here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then while your wing seal's still open, you do that trim.
Okay.
on that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But, should I seal those players then? Sorry.
For that, just use these.
Just lift up in your pointer, Roberta, when you're doing it. So when you hit, you lift up in your pointer, right? Okay, better. That looks good. Then we'll try the bottom. We'll take this rubber. Is
tight
it
enough?
okay to take the rubber band off, Phil?
I'm happy. If you're happy. And just nest it in. That's a pocket item.
Okay.
Through the months of July and August, the sheeting was rebuilt as necessary and installed. Along with all the appliances, the rebuilt generator was also installed. 1392 was given a fresh coat of paint and was once again ready for service. It is time for her to make her appearance on the stage again. 1392 is capable of holding 5,000 gallons of water and 3,000 gallons of fuel oil. The water has already been loaded, and here the fuel oil is being loaded.
We're gonna open up our valve and flood the line first. Okay, give us a second. Okay.
And once again, 9000 is pressed into service to haul 1392 outside so she can be fired up. There's no remote starter on a steam engine. Firing the boiler starts with some waste, a slang term for an oil-soaked rag that is used to start a fire in the boiler.
Could have been a little closer.
Once the burning rag is in the firebox, the fuel flow is started and the fire is lit. It takes a few hours to get the water hot enough to make steam.
Make sure that piece is really an extra piece.
Ted doubts it. I don't know why.
He's laughing or not?
No, he's shaking his head.